Okay, live. And I have to apologize. It's been a while, but I got sick and I might sound a little nasally right now, and I got to clear my throat more often than usual. But I should be good. I don't really remember exactly where I left off, so I'm going to try and... Dang. Should have cleared my throat before I started. I'm going to try to see where I'm at. So npm start, and then just kind of go from there. See how this goes. My goal is to finish it today. Probably should have got some water or something. It doesn't seem to be. Oh, there it is. Now, I don't remember adding a blue background. That was weird, huh? All right, so I'm going to zoom in a bit. I remember that being kind of an issue in the last one, too. But just remember I'm zoomed in. Okay, where am I at? Let's see what's going on. So if I click on the eyeball, it takes me to here. Definitely not the best aesthetic, but at least it's working. Okay, so no ability to edit yet, I think. Or no, there is. So if I click this... Okay, no ability to edit yet. Okay, and the button... Okay, so I remember where I'm at now, I think. So let's just start there, right? Let's start with the ability to edit. So I think the way that I wanted to handle this was if I clicked edit, it should take me to the create page, but with the that particular page's information already pre-populated inside of here. And instead of create, it would say edit. And I don't know whether or not I was planning on making a whole new component for edit or what. Let's see if I've already done that. Maybe I already have some state in here that says is edit mode or something. No, I don't see that. So it looks like I could probably just reuse the same component and not have to create a edit page component. So I guess I'll start by kind of creating an edit piece of state, like is edit. And probably we'll just initialize this by pulling something from the query parameters. So right now it says create page, but it should, in the end, probably say something like edit page for edit, and then a question mark ID, and then the page ID, right? Which means, what would be the easiest way to do this? Well, let's go to the app component. I think it's where I'm doing the routing. And I'm rendering the create page component only in the case of create page. So I can actually cut this out and pass in an array. And we're going to say create page, but also edit page. Now either one should load this component. So let's see. So edit page is now loading the create page component. That's good. But we're going to need to have a potentially an ID. So I might do this. So instead of it being a query parameter, it'd be like edit page and then the ID here. Perfect. Okay. Got it. So now I should be able to access that from within there. And I think I accessed it by using, I should probably zoom in a little. That should be big enough, hopefully. I was using use params to access it. So let's do the same thing here. And that's coming from React Router DOM. Use params. Okay. And I'm just basically destructing out the ID from, use params. And I just want to make sure that this works. So I'm gonna log it as it changes. If it exists. Am I in the right component? Hold on. This is the app component. I'm not trying to be in this component. I'm trying to be in the create page component. So let me undo my change there. I do not want that. And I don't need this anymore. But I do need this. And auto import use effect. And grab the ID here. So let's see if it logs the ID as I would hope it would. Okay, so it logs the ID. Very good. So in this particular scenario, if it's in edit mode, we should probably just go ahead and pre-populate this data here. Yes, so I guess we could do if ID. Well, there's also got to be a way, like, I just want to be super secure with how I do this. Secure might not be the right word, but I just want to I want to do it the right way, kind of ish. I know I'm cutting corners a little bit, but I want to check and see whether or not the URL is edit page or create page. And if it's edit page, I'll flip edit to true and then set the stuff. Fair enough. So in here, instead of checking if ID, instead of doing it like that, I'm going to actually try, I think I can use location. And in here, we can pull out the location is equal to use location. And I think I get something for free out of that. So let's see, location. Whoops, didn't mean to put two O's there. Why is that? That auto import stuff sometimes is not your friend. Like it is sometimes, but sometimes it's not. But let's see what we get out of this. We get location. No, why does it keep doing location bar? Where is location bar coming from? I don't know why it keeps trying to pull out something called location bar. Anyway, dot search. No, that is going to be query parameters state perhaps. Dot history. Is it? Let's just log location and see what we have. We have path name. Now path name is, okay, so that's where we can determine whether or not it's edit. Okay, so if path name, oops, location dot, oh my gosh, dot path name dot includes edit link or page. I'm sorry, I can't remember if it's edit page or edit link, edit page. Then we're going to set is edit to true. Otherwise, we're going to set is edit to false. And while we're here, setting is edit to true, that's when I can actually set the proper information for the given page because we have the ID coming from here. But it also makes me wonder if I mean, I could just pull it from here. I think I'd rather do it the official way. So let's do it the official way. So I want to, so Andre asked me what VS Code theme is this? This is Laser Wave. This is the Laser Wave theme. There's more to it than just this, but I've disabled the custom CSS, so it's actually a lot more exciting than this, but I don't want to distract everyone with my crazy Vaporwave background and glowing fonts. Highly recommend you set it up yourself, though. It's a pretty awesome theme. But anyway, let me just, in here, I want to only load this if we've determined whether or not it's edit. We can do that via type of is edit is equal to Boolean. Otherwise, there we go. So now it shouldn't load anything until we determine whether or not it's edit. That's good. What is this? Helpers. Okay, well, I'll have to come back to this. I'm not worried about that. All right. So now that we can determine whether or not it's edit mode, we can now change the button text from either create. If it isn't edit, so if not is edit, then we want to say create. Otherwise, we're going to say update. After all this time, maybe you'll finish it. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. I'm hoping so. So we have the update. Now it says update. If I switch it to create page, now it says create. So very good. But now I got to pre-populate the inputs for the ID if the ID is valid. If it's not valid, I should give ourselves like a 404 or something, right? But we'll worry about that later. Let's see, where do we want to set this? So we'll set it here. Now, there's multiple ways I can go about getting this, and I think the best way would be to get it from Firebase directly instead of passing it as a prop. And the reason why is I always want to have one source of truth for a piece of data, and I know that it's an extra API call potentially, but it might not be because of the way Firebase's library works. It actually caches a lot of this information, and then whenever there's an update, it sends the browser a message to then go and get that updated information. So it's okay to do it in this particular case, I'm pretty sure. I think this would be perfectly fine. So let's call Firebase. So I already have a reference to Firebase. And I think it's pages.doc, and then we have the ID. Now, we got to make sure we also have the ID, right? So let's also put this check in here. And if I do that, I have to make sure that I have both of these in the dependency array. But at the same time, I'm thinking, okay, is this going to run twice? It shouldn't, but it might. No. There's a good way for me to check. I can log something immediately. Console.log running effect. So let's see how many times that gets logged. Let's refresh. Okay, it looks like it only runs once. I just wanted to verify that. I was pretty sure it wouldn't run twice, but sometimes it's better just to prove it out. So let's get this. Yeah, let's get it. Then res. Okay, so I think at this point we need to pull out the data or something from the doc. So it's actually not, maybe res isn't the best thing to do here. So let's say const data equals res dot, I think it's data, right? And that's a function. Perfect. So now I have the particular page. Let me log the page. In this particular case, it's not going to exist because I just put the ID as like ABC112, which isn't a real ID. But if I run over to Firebase really quick and grab an actual one, I'll grab an actual ID really quick. Just give me a moment while I pull it up. Firebase. Here is an ID. Let's do this one. Okay. So it still says undefined. Create page line. Is it? Why would that happen? Okay. It's because the ID for the collection is actually not pages, it's link pages. Yeah, it's been a minute since I've worked on this, as you all know. Okay, so now we are getting the object here. So let's populate the page name with name, and then let's populate the links, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's do that. So set page name. Well, set page name, data.name, set page links, and I think we could literally just do data.links here and it should work. Now I only want to do this if data, because otherwise we need to 404. We'll go to a 404 page or something like that. So let's see if it pre-populates the data. It does. Okay, cool. Sweet. Okay. Good stuff. So the other piece to this is when I do the submit, in that logic, in that function, I need to check whether or not we're editing or not. And if we are editing, we need to do an update. If we are not, then we need to do a create, which is what the default is. So if I run over here to our function, which is right here, called create page, we need to have a different function called update page. And it's going to be very similar. So I'm going to copy this and kind of just change it. So this is just the validation to make sure we're authenticated, make sure that everything is valid. Instead of add, we're going to do update. So we're going to have to do, I think it's doc ID. And again, we just want to make sure that ID is a thing before we get this far. So I'm going to put that extra check here. And instead of add, we're going to do update. Don't need to update the user ID. These are the only two fields that can possibly be updated. And then navigate to there. So when we call this is going to be on the update button click. And on the on click, we're going to say is edit. Otherwise, create page, we're going to say update page on the edit case. And let's just see if this works, right? So if we go to the home page, let's go to the home page. My first page, that's what it's called. Now, if I go to the /edit for that particular page, I'm going to call it my page updated and just see if it updates it. Perfect. So it actually updated it. Very good. Now I need to be able to get to that edit screen by just clicking this button instead of manually going over here. It looks like clicking that, all that does is log this. Am I using ONI2? ONI2? I don't know what that is. ONI2. Let's see, what is that? Oh, no. No. I'm not. I'll check it out though. But back to this. So when I click, I think this is on the dashboard. So let's go to the dashboard component. We're rendering out dashboard links. And then here we have the edit page button, but we don't have a click for it, do we? On click is we're running edit page, and all that's doing is console.logging the page. There we go. So what we want to do instead of just console.logging the page when we click the edit button is go to /edit page / and then that particular page ID, whichever one we clicked on. So let's say edit page accepts an ID. Let's be more specific and say page ID. And then go to edit page /page ID. But that means that we have to call it here with the ID. Wait. Oh, we actually have access to it here, so I do not need that. I was wrong about that. So we can just say page.id. I think, right? Yes. I feel confident. All right, let's try it. Click on it. Boom. Okay, click on this. Boom. Example. Boom. Okay. Yeah, let me, oops, no, not delete. Okay. Cool. So looks like we can view it. We can edit it. We can delete it and create new pages. I think functionality wise, unless I'm forgetting something, I think functionality wise, we are done here. It's just horribly ugly. Like the design for all of this is horrendous, right? So this is where I'm going to go in and just start playing around with the design a little bit. I think that when I click on this, I think that this is okay, but we're going to need some more color stuff going on here. So I'm going to do a color palette generator. I'm just going to pick a random color palette. Maybe not too random. I'm going to pick one that looks good, hopefully. I'm not much of a designer, so honestly, I don't even know what looks good. But I'm going to try to pick something with like blues and purples. So I'm just going to go through until I find one that has like, that's a lot of purples and pinks, but not enough blues. Ooh, I like this, but I wish the purples were darker. So I'm going to actually duplicate this tab and save it. That way I can come back to it if I don't find anything else. But I really want to find one with like darker purples and blues. Just, yeah, kind of like a violet like that, but with blue. Blues and violets. I think that's a really good color combo. Yeah. So I kind of like this, but if I could just find one with some purple here, let me just see if I can tweak it. View shades? No, I don't want to view the shades. I have to cough. Excuse me. I'm trying to see if I can just change this drag. What does this do? I really wish I could just change this to purple because I like this layout. I just want some purple. Here, I'll save this one too and just keep going through. Do any of you have any secrets for finding good color palettes? Let me know in the chat. I use Peloton and I use this. But I just feel like it's so artificially generated. Hey, don't know if you are going to see it, but I used this background linear gradient to top right. So someone named America, I am Confucian. I am Confucian. Is that the background color? America, I am Confucian. I'm going to bring this over so they know what I'm talking about. This is the color that they said they used. Did you use this for the background color? I'm gonna give it a shot. We'll give it a go. Let me close out all these tabs and just go straight to the main CSS. Okay, so gradient background. We can try it out. Let's give it a shot. So I'll add it as the body background. And just see what that looks like. It's a little bit so that to me, I like certain gradients and stuff like that, but this is too harsh. Like it's, I might have just added it wrong. So what is that all about? Let me see. I can't remember how to make it the full width because I like the colors. I actually do like the colors, kind of. But the problem is that the separation is so sharp that I can't get over that. I could just, wait. What is this here? So we have background layer, final background layer. We could look at the reference. What is content box? Content box. Linear gradient. This is not. Oh, this is the reference for background. Linear gradient Mozilla. Okay, so it takes the two colors for the gradient, but what are all of the parameters? So to left, top right. Such a weird syntax. Oh, I see. I just want it to fill the whole screen. I don't want it to repeat. Yeah. Hold up. I'm gonna try it with this. And just tweak it from here. So let's see what I can do with this. I want to make this lighter. So kind of like that. Also, for you, if you all didn't already hear me towards the beginning, I was sick. I still kind of have a cough, so I'm going to try my best not to cough directly into the microphone, but occasionally I'll have to pull away and cough. So my apologies. Okay, so that looks okay. Let me go to the home page. Just start here. So I'm going to try to find colors that match somewhat. Okay. That's all right. We'll go with this. So that is the dashboard link, CSS. That is the view button, I think. View button. And I'm going to edit these to be the same, but hold on. What is... There we go. Oh, gosh. Just change the hues so that it keeps like a somewhat of a kind of matching tone, but it's... Edit should be green. So maybe that looks okay. I think that looks okay. And then this gray needs to be different. So let's see. What should the gray look like? Maybe this is where I can kind of go over here. We'll go with this. We'll go with this. What did we call that? That was the title. Background color here. This isn't like blowing my mind with how good it looks. The colors are okay. The font though, and this needs to be a button, so I need to quickly turn that into a button. So that was on the dashboard, I think, right? Create page button. That is what we can target here. Create page button. And let's do a padding of 7 pixels. Background color. Let's just start with this and then I'll tweak it over there. Border, none. Outline, none. Box, shadow, 0 pixels, 0 pixels, 3 pixels gray. Border radius, 5 pixels. And then the cursor pointer. The width should not be 100%. What's causing the width to be 100%? It's been a minute since I have looked at this. It could be that it's like, I see. I think it's display block or something like that. Let's try a display inline block and see if that gets rid of the, there we go. Yeah, that color is horrendous. Ooh, let's see if I can just copy this, but then kind of purplify it a little. that just, it's not really, none of these colors are really standing out to me as like a create page button. Maybe I'll just literally copy that. Yeah, that looks okay. Goodness. Color white. Font, or sorry, text align, center. And then we want to probably do like margin auto. That didn't do, oh, it's because it's inline block. I don't see the margin auto anywhere. Did I? Huh. And I could technically make this, you know what, hold on. Like a full width. I kind of like the full width. I just don't like that it's wider than this. So my guess is that this has a like a margin or padding. It has a padding of 5 pixels. Margin, that's what it is. So the margin is 5 pixels for each of these. I should make the margin 5 pixels here. But I want to set the margin bottom a little more. Say 25 pixels, just to give it that separation. That looks okay. This has to go. I don't like this, but maybe I can go with like a Google font. Let's go to Google Fonts. Start looking at some fonts. Okay, so I think for maybe the headers here, I can use a decorative font. Is that what they call it? Display font? Yeah, display font. So let's look at the display fonts. See if I can find something that just looks a little cool or something. I don't know. 8-bit. I don't know. If I'm going to go with 8-bit, I need to change the colors up, huh? This doesn't really feel 8-bit to me. This feels more like, I don't know. I'm not really digging the color aesthetic at all. But I'm just rolling with it so I don't stick on it forever. I kind of want maybe like something hand-drawn, some handwriting, or something like this. This is cool. Kind of. I don't know. Let's see, pages. I'm not digging it. It's not the right look. Maybe this. Sure. So this font right here, I can just copy this import stuff and then I think throw it at the top here. And then I think you have to just reference the font family here, which by the way, I don't want it here. I want it on the dashboard. That is the dashboard. I am on the dashboard. Silly me. And I think it's going to be under main H1. So let's target the main H1. Just see what this looks like. I'm not digging it, but set the color to be white, maybe. That's too invisible, but I can do a text shadow. Maybe that would look okay. It's very soft. It's very soft, and I am not a designer. I don't know how obvious that is. Let's see. Man, this is not my forte. Gosh, none of this looks good to me. I wonder at some point if I could just pass it on to you guys to design. Like I'll finish the functionality and then you guys design it. Let me know what you think about that. Um, yeah, like maybe I could do that, right? So I am not good at aesthetic like design and stuff. I can write CSS and I can achieve what I want to achieve with CSS all day. But just designing and figuring out what it should look like, not super good at that, to be honest. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back through and just kind of finish up the touches, make things a little bit smoother with the functionality, clean up some of the code, all that good stuff. I'm going to push this to GitHub. And what I want you all to do is clone this on GitHub and design it yourself. Do some CSS, make it look pretty. And then what I want to do is do a live stream follow-up where I feature everybody who tried to do it. So everybody who goes in and adds their own styles to it, I will feature you in the next live stream. You can tell me whether or not you want me to show your username, all that good stuff, but please help me out with that. I'm not doing anything with this app. It's just for fun, but I think it'd be cool if I got you all involved and featured your guys' designs, because I cannot design or the crap. So I'm going to go through and do that, right? I'm going to go through and I'm going to just keep it the way it is and fix up some of the code. One thing that I don't like are the relative imports. I kind of prefer a more, like, I don't like the relative imports. I want an absolute import. And I think I can do a JS config. Let me, I did this recently. I think I did a JS config. Yeah, that's how I did it. So you can do a JS config. I think that was that JSON? Yeah. And by doing that, now I don't have to use this relative import. Instead, I can just import this directly from components. But I need to create an index.js file here and export everything from all of these folders. Dashboard link, create page. Is that all of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, cool. And then just fix up the order and make it look cleaner, more intentional. There we go. Now I should be able to just import stuff from components. Like this. Kind of making things a lot cleaner. I can do the same thing here with hooks. Save it, make sure it loads still. Cannot resolve in components, so that is this. That would be happening because, whoops, where'd it go? Do I need to restart the server? Since I updated my JS config, maybe I need to update the server and run npm start again. Says cannot resolve components. Did I spell it wrong? Components. What am I doing wrong here? Gosh. Let's take a look. Oh, I put a dot. I shouldn't put a dot here. Okay. Maybe that's good. And then npm start again. See if this works. Still breaks. What is the difference here? What am I doing wrong? Did I also have to add something to the package JSON? Doesn't look like it. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, I do this all the time. See if we go in here. Dang it, I'm sorry that I have to keep clearing my throat. I'm looking at another of my projects so that I can see the way that I was importing stuff. I think, oh, let's go in here. Yeah, so I know that it works. What's the deal? What is the deal? Cannot resolve components. What is going on? How confusing is this? I don't even know what to say at this point. Cannot resolve components. In here. Well, it looks like I don't really have much of a choice but to do it like this. So I'm going to get rid of my JS config that I just created for no reason, apparently. And see if I can just get it to work without it. And the only other thing was the hooks, right? There we go. Okay, so it's still a little cleaner. Just a little. Okay, now we have this little error thing here this morning. It says expected that to equal that, saw that, blah, blah, blah. Helpers.js line 11. So that's in shared helpers.js line 11. I don't know if this is going to work if I add a third one, but it should work. Because I got this code from here. Yeah. Well. Okay, so the code is cleaner now. But go to the app component one more time. Let me just make sure. Yeah, okay. Now, if I refresh, I think there was like the weird thing, right? If I refresh, that's not too bad. If I click here, click back, maybe a cancel button would be a good idea. I could add a cancel button, and I could add a cancel button here as well. So we'll get a cancel button for the create page. Then if I view here, I maybe like a home button would be nice. Or when I click view, it should open it in a new tab. Let's do that really quick. So when I click on that, when I go to view page, we're doing history.push. Instead of doing history.push, I could do, I'm going to copy this line, comment it out, and then duplicate it below. And instead of using history.push, I'm going to say window.open with this URL. And I think that I can use a relative URL like that. Let me see what happens when I click that. Okay, yeah, it opens it in a new tab. Good. So that is good. Now, the other thing was I wanted to add a cancel button to the create page. So underneath the update button, we'll create a new button on click, which will just simply go back. So history.push, we'll go back to the dashboard. And then we'll give it a class name of styles.cancel. And where's the submit button? Here it is. Okay, so I can just do that. Cancel. I don't think the cancel button will ever be disabled, but it will be good just to have it. And then I'm going to override the background color for the cancel button. Make it more red. Obviously, red seems to make more sense for cancel. I must have missed some of the styles. Looks like it. Oh, here it is. Are these the same? Dot cancel. So, oh yeah, it doesn't need that much margin top. So I'll override that here. Maybe 5 pixels. That looks okay. Click it, takes you back. Go to create new page, click it, takes you back. Okay, so there's a cancel button. This opens in a new tab. Okay. So functionally speaking, it works. Again, what I want to do is I want to get you all involved because I suck at designing. It would be really cool if I could get as many of you as possible to clone this repo. I'm about to push it in just a second. To clone this repository and style it up, and then I will feature you in the next stream. So I'm going to just go ahead and start pushing this up now. Let's go here. We'll call this linker. Did I already create a repo for this? I don't think so. I don't think I did. So let's do a public repository. Choose a license. We'll do MIT. I'll do that in a minute. All right. So let's start pushing this to GitHub. Before I do that, let's make sure that I have the git ignore the way that I want it to be. Better add the .env in there. Is there anything else? No, I think that's fine. Cool. So go ahead and go in here. Zoom this in. Whoops. Why can't I? There we go. Git add origin there, or it's like git remote add origin there. Make sure I just add all of these files, stage them. Git commit, initial commit, git push origin master, and now it should be up on GitHub. So I'm going to include the link in the description, and I should also change this README really quick. It's just like the Create React app README. Please style me, and I will feature you in the next stream. All right, let me add that. Update README. Push it. Refresh. Very good. I'm going to add a license. MIT license. There we go. And I think you just, I could do like license.md or something, or just license in all caps. New file, license. Paste that in there. Wait. Oh, it's because it's got to be in here. Oh, that's why it wasn't working earlier. That's why the JS config wasn't working earlier. I didn't put it in the linker folder. I put it outside of the linker folder. Ah, that's so dumb. Okay, well, now I know. So stage that. Add license. Push that to GitHub. And like I said, I'm going to put the I'm going to put this in the chat right now. I just threw that on the chat. And if you want to go add some styles, play with it, have at it. Make sure to add your own Firebase credentials if you want to actually see this thing pop up. All you'll have to do is add it to the .env file like we did in the first video. And I will also be sure to put a link to this repository in the description of this video. But yeah, functionally speaking, this is fully done. It's just really ugly. I hope someone has some fun styling this up. I'm going to be doing plenty of streams moving forward. I was sick for like a week. Sorry about that, everyone. I wanted to just keep doing it. Didn't mean to drag this out as long as I did, but I was just sick for like an entire week. So what else? Is there anything else? I just put up a poll on Twitter, by the way, asking if I should rebrand the port.exe name. Let's see where that's at. All right, zoom in. So we got 7 votes. It looks like the majority says no, but it looks like there's a fair amount of people that say yes. And here's the thing about it, right? So port.exe, I love the name port.exe. I created that. I wanted to stick with it. I was super adamant about sticking with the name port.exe, but over time I started realizing nobody really knew what the heck port.exe was. Like if you hear what that is, you don't think, oh, coding. You don't think, oh, coding tutorials or coding live streaming or anything like that. Nothing really comes to mind. So I should probably rebrand in a sense. I want to keep port.exe because I've got all of my my names and usernames and everything is kind of centered around that. But I might change it up a little bit to be like coding with port.exe or just something like that. I'm going to try to think of something a little bit more creative. I need a better logo. That's another thing. If anybody wants to try out creating a logo, I will use your logo if it looks awesome. Yeah, just reach out to me on Twitter. But yeah, that's it for this stream. I'm probably going to do some more stuff on Twitch. So if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm going to be doing more live stuff on Twitch and getting back to my more formal stuff on YouTube, but I'll probably still do streams like this occasionally on both. But definitely follow me on Twitch so you don't miss any of that good stuff. And also on there, I will probably do some more casual stuff and some gaming, but definitely lots of coding as well. But I think that's it for today. I wanted to do more here, but it's all done. It's all working. It's just ugly. All right.